Welcome to the 2024-2025 back to school night at the incredible, world-class Woodlawn Middle School. We're so excited, families, that you are with us this evening. And certainly you should all be in your homeroom classes, as we're going to go through the schedule for this evening as to how you'll travel through our building to meet your students' teachers. And also we have some resources here in our main hallway for each of you. So welcome this evening. We're going to start here all together, and certainly we are bringing you greetings from our principal, Dr. Rochelle Archulus, who is traveling at the moment, but she sends her well wishes. She welcomes each and every one of you into our school building and community, and we're going to have an exciting evening tonight learning more about Woodlawn Middle School. And so with that, we have Dr. Archulus, who is our principal, and then I'll have my assistant principal colleagues introduce themselves and the grade levels that they are responsible for.
Hi, I'm Ms. Kim Dupree. I am the 6th grade assistant principal for this school year.
Hi, I'm Ms. Konisha Robinson. I'm the 7th grade assistant principal for this school year.
And I'm Ronald McFadden. I have the pleasure of serving our 8th graders this year here at Woodlawn Middle School, and also thanks to Miss Anna Williams, who made sure that we were set up tonight with Kona Ice. We're hoping that you all are enjoying some Kona Ice. You all should have received tickets. Each family should have received tickets, in addition to our community resources that are in our main hallway. Thank you to Miss Williams. And tonight you'll get an opportunity to meet more of our incredible team. You'll see members of the Eagle Nation that are present in this photo tonight. But we also want to introduce you to a couple of other staff members that it is important for you to know. We have a team leader for every grade level. We have Miss Tiffany May, who is the team leader for grade 6, and our team leaders support the administrators for the grade levels. We also have Miss Dana Sutton Eccles, who is the 7th grade team leader, and we have Miss Cassandra Vincent, who is the team leader for grade 8. We are happy to have these team members on our team and supporting the leadership of our school building. Also, there are several department chairs in our school building, in addition to some front office staff, but our department chairs help our content teams work with the curriculum, work with teaching, best practices to best support each of our students. And so you see those team members listed here, and you'll see them throughout the building. Several of you will have classes with them, but we have Miss Dana Welchel, who's our English Language Arts Department Chair, Mr. Seth Frumpkin, who's our Math and PE Department Chair, Miss Megan Steen, who's the Department Chair for Science, Miss Amber Hosbach, who's our Social Studies and Music Department Chair, Dr. Vanessa Brookins, who's our Special Education and IEP Chairperson, and we have the incredible Miss Stephanie Gerhold, our World Language and ESOL Department Chair, and she also happens to be the Baltimore County Teacher of the Year, not just here at Woodlawn, throughout the whole county, and we know that she's going to go all the way. So we're rooting for her, because from here you got the state level, and hopefully she'll make it to the national level to be our National Teacher of the Year. We believe in our scholars just that much. Our teachers are committed to the well-being and the success of each of them, and so we're happy to have Ms. Gerhold on our team, as many of our teachers in the building could be Teacher of the Year. So we're looking to have even more representation in the years to come. You also see members of our front office team who are listed below. They typically greet you. They're the first folks to greet you as you come to our building, so we have those folks listed there. Our school nurse is also the 24-25 Maryland State Nurse of the Year, Nurse G as we call her. We also have a counselor, a school counselor for every grade level under the leadership of Mr. Scott Saffron, who is our school counseling chair, but he also is responsible for grade 6. We have Miss J.C. Dunlap, who works with Miss Robinson in grade 7, and we have Mrs. Morgan Snodley, who works with me in grade 8. Our school social workers, Ms. Nicole West. We have our school psychologist, Ms. Imani Rose. Our SEL teacher, who many of you will see tonight and many of you already know, Mr. Jerome Dixon. And we have a fantastic safety team here at Woodlawn Middle School. They tend to be the examples of many other safety teams at other schools, but we have Mr. Quadir Moses, who works with our sixth. They work with all of our students, but they're specifically responsible for grade levels. Mr. Quadir Moses works with grade 6, Mr. Maurice Eaton works with grade 7, and Mr. Tamba Bakima works with grade 8. And certainly we want to acknowledge our school resource officer, Officer Dukes, who is the 23 School Resource Officer of the Year. Accolades. So all of you can see the vision that is on the screen in front of you, but we are Woodlawn Middle School, where students will have the knowledge, the skills, and the attitudes to participate in a globally competitive society as college and career ready individuals. And our mission is to provide students with rigorous instruction that develops critical thinking and problem-solving skills, empowering all students to achieve academically, compete in a global society, and become a lifelong learner. And so now we're going to turn it over to Ms. Dupree, who not only is responsible...
Miss Robinson.
Miss Robinson, who not only... Okay. So we just shifted a little bit. But we're good to go. Ms. Robinson is going to lead us through some information about us being an improvement school. So although we're a fantastic school, we're a flagship school, we've got some goals to meet, and Ms. Robinson's going to lead us through that. Ms. Robinson?
Awesome. So thank you, Mr. McFadden, for the lovely introduction. Also, I want to name that I serve for grade 7, but Ms. Dupree is actually our school improvement administrator and colleague. So we pretty much snowball off of one another to support our school. But I wanted to give some background information for what MSDE has stated as our target. So at Woodlawn Middle School, we have been identified as a CSI school, and this is with schools with an overall or student group performance at or below the 30% percentage point. So at our school specifically, we are CSI for special ed. That is our subgroup that we will be supporting, and our overall percentage over the past 3 years has been overall 23%. So with that, I will say that we are a school of improvement, but again, that really provides us with some intentionality behind our planning, our preparation, and our support for our teachers and students in our building. It affords us some opportunities to provide small group opportunities for students in classrooms, professional development around special education specifically, and being able to be a little bit more intentional about how we go about delivering quality instruction for our students. So we look at it as improvement, but we also look at it as best practice for teachers. We are trying to learn and grow and develop, and with that, this really pushes us to push the needle. So moving on to the next slide. We have a comparison of our MAP and MCAP data. These are two district assessments that we have at the school level. As you can see on your screen, there's a comparison from 2023 to 2024 in reading and in math, which are the focus groups for those assessments. So if you take a look at 6th grade, which are our current 7th grade students, we do not have any data for, of course, our 6th grade students because they're coming from elementary school. So our current 7th grade students is data. When we look at that, 7th grade specifically, there was a slight decline in the 61st percentile, which is our students who are achieving above average or on the track for college and career readiness. So we saw a slight decline in reading specifically, but an increase in math for students scoring in the 61st percentile. For our 8th grade students, our current 8th grade students, you'll see in reading there was a large increase in the number of students who demonstrated proficiency on the 61st percentile, and then a slight decrease again in the 61st percentile for math. If we take a look at MCAP comparisons, you'll see that 7th grade seems very proficient, and when we talk about proficiency, we're talking about students who receive a score of a 3 or a 4 on MCAT. So MCAT goes from scores of 1 to 4. So our students who score 3 or beyond, that would determine their proficiency. So in 7th grade, we had proficiency that increased for math in grade 7, and then proficiency that increased in ELA for grade 8. Next slide. This is a comparison just so that you can see larger scale, like what this looks like. Most of the families, you receive this in the mail. You'll see the bar that shows the scale score for your student. It goes from level 1, 2, 3, and 4. Please pay attention to these. It really does provide you with a scope of where your child is and where your child could be going in the future years. These scores and different informational texts and things that we show you help you to provide your child with that extra help at home in conjunction with what we're doing at school. So if you take a look, we have all assessments here: math, ELA, science, and social studies. You'll see that our proficiency rates for each assessment, again, our goal is a 3 or 4. You'll see that ELA is top of the line. We're at 34%. I like to just scoot it up. So 34%, which is amazing. When we compare ourselves to many of the schools in the West, we are really at the top of the top. So I know that we have some areas of opportunity, but again, we want to celebrate the wins. So ELA, I'm noticing that students are really achieving at high levels of proficiency in ELA specifically. Also, social studies second up, science third up, and then math, of course, we have some opportunity, some areas of opportunity and growth.
And so much of this information, we are going to move pretty quickly through that this evening because we know you want to get into your classrooms with your teachers. But a lot of this information will be provided to each of you in a parent handbook. The team has worked on a parent handbook so that parents and guardians have all of the information that they need to really know what it's like to be the absolute best Woodlawn Middle School Eagle that our young people can be. And so that information is forthcoming. Once our parent handbooks are available, they're out to print. Each parent and guardian will receive a parent handbook. However, now we're focusing on grading. And grading this year, we have some modifications. We no longer use the LS code. That means there is no longer a lower score. However, on major assignments, if a student has attempted a major task or an assignment and has earned below a 50% of the possible points, the teacher will award 50% of the total possible points and make the notation in the grade book. However, that's for major assignments only. If students do not complete a minor assignment, they earn a 0 or missing. It is missing considered if they do not do that assignment. So it's important that our students turn assignments in on time and really do their best. Now, we understand that there are some extenuating circumstances. Ms. Dupree will talk about that with attendance. However, we're expecting our students to be present and to submit their assignments on time because, as you can see, 70% of your students' grade is in that minor activity category. So the minor activities are considered 70% of your students' overall grade, with major activities being worth 30%. And so that 30%, we look at major category, major assignments, for example, tests, quizzes, projects, unit assessments, DBQs, anything like that, we consider major assignments, while many class assignments are considered minor assignments. So generally, what your students are doing every day, they're being graded on those things, as we want to see a body of evidence to determine their overall grade. So another thing just to be cognizant of, attempted major assignments will not receive less than a 50%. Students who do not attempt to complete an assignment or who is absent will receive a missing. That missing, that letter M, translates into a 0. So families, we're encouraging you, if you don't have a Schoology account, make sure you have that Schoology account so you can monitor and see what your students are doing in real time. The midway point for quarter 1 is September 27th, 2024, and the first marking period ends on October 31st. Ms. Dupree?
All right, so for attendance, every day students come to school, we do take attendance in their homeroom as well as each class that they're attending. and this is very critical, that students are in homeroom by the time teachers are taking attendance, because some of you may be getting phone calls saying your students are marked absent, and it's because they did not report to homeroom on time. And we can check and correct the attendance for the day, but it's nerve-wracking when you get those calls and you know your child was at school. So our start time is at 8:15 each morning. Students should be into the building at 8 a.m. Parents, please do not drop your students off before 8 a.m. because there's no one here on duty to watch your children before 8 o'clock. So our attendance measures that we are using this year is those that have perfect attendance. It is very outstanding, and we look forward to celebrating those students that show up each and every day. But if you have 1 to 5 absences, it's considered excellent. 6 to 8 absences in the school year, it is satisfactory. 9 or more absences are considered unsatisfactory, because the state of Maryland says students should be in attendance 95% of the time. That means they can only miss 9 absences in the entire school year. So dismissal is promptly at 3 p.m. If students are walkers, they should walk immediately home. If they are car riders, please pick your students up at the front of the bus loop. Please do not enter the bus loop in the morning or in the afternoon.
All right, going right into transportation. So students may not ride any bus that they are not assigned to. Parents, please be mindful that focus outlines the bus that the student is assigned. So please pay very close attention to the assigned bus, and please make sure that your child is getting on that bus. Parents may not drive in the bus loop, as Ms. Dupree just stated, during arrival or during dismissal times. Students are to be at their designated stop and on the side of the road of the bus pickup 10 minutes, and I'll even say 15 minutes before the time. We do have Busware. If you have not downloaded the app on your phone, BCPS provides us with several in-the-moment applications that allow us to really monitor everything that we're afforded, that your student is afforded. Busware serves as a great app to download on your phone. You'll see the time the bus has arrived, the time that the bus is en route to another stop. I would suggest that parents download that app. Students getting off the bus are to wait on the side of the road where they get off, and students may stand away, and they must stand away from the side of the bus until the bus pulls away, allowing students to see clearly in both directions. Riding the bus is a privilege, not a right. So just being mindful that appropriate behaviors are always expected. No standing on the bus while it's in motion, being respectful to the bus driver at all times. That's keeping your hands, feet, everything to yourself, cleaning up behind yourself. There should be no food or drinks on the bus, no eating on the bus. So just being mindful of all of those things, because our buses, again, they show up, they are prompt, they're doing what's best for children, but they also deserve the same level of respect that our students expect from us. So just being mindful of those things. Perfect.
You could just take a look briefly at our meals program. All of our students have access to breakfast in the morning and lunch. And so yesterday, Dr. Archulus led the entire school through our student handbook, 2024-2025. And that handbook gives specific information to how students should govern themselves while they're in school in Baltimore County, on a bus, Baltimore County, to and from school in Baltimore County. While students, once they leave your doorstep till they make it back home, they legally are under our scope of authority. And so it is our responsibility to maintain safety, to ensure that your students return home safely. And so anything that they do from the time they leave home to the time they return, they are under our scope of legal authority. And so please have conversations with your students, as we went through the entire handbook yesterday morning, to really discuss what are appropriate behaviors for our students and behaviors that are not appropriate. And we also had to spend some time looking at what infractions are, and the consequences for those infractions. And as we tell our students all the time, we are not emotional with our consequences, but our young people know right from wrong. We are now in middle school, and so we have to hold them accountable. But we all want to be safe. That's the bottom line. We want to make sure that we're all safe so that our young people can thrive and grow and succeed at high levels. There are a few non-negotiables, and Ms. Robinson is going to lead us through these non-negotiables.
All students at Woodlawn Middle School dress for success. This means no hoodies, purses, handbags, fanny packs, any little bags that are not having just your materials for class. So like pencils, pens, it should be a small little case. Nothing else that is larger than that should be held or carried around the school at any point in the day. These items must be placed in the locker. Be ready to listen and learn always. We do not have any electronic devices throughout the school day. All of your earbuds, smart devices, and cellular phones go in your locker. Parents, please do not expect to hear from your child throughout the day via text or call. All of their cell phones and all of those electronic devices will be in their locker. Again, this is just so that students are prepared to learn and not focus on communicating outside of the schoolhouse. If you have anything that is urgent, you can contact the main office at any time or send a Schoology message or an email to the teacher of your child, and they'll communicate whatever you need to your student. All of our students use language of opportunity. We do not use profanity here. We come to class with instructional items, no outside food in the classrooms, and we walk with purpose.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson. And just to reiterate that one of those non-negotiables, cell phone policy, it is Superintendent's Rule 5552, right, which specifies that all cell phones, non-BCPS issued electronic devices should be locked away in students' lockers, which is why students have the combination. No one else should have your students' combination. They should keep their combination confidential so that they can store their things in their locker. However, administrators do have the responsibility at times, but also the authority to search students' belongings, including their lockers, to help maintain safety in our school building. So just keep that in mind as well. Ms. Dupree is going to lead us through our uniform policy.
Okay, so our school is a uniform school. All students should be wearing a polo style shirt. Grade 6 is burgundy, grade 7 is black, and grade 8 is the heather gray uniforms. They wear khaki bottoms. Pants, skirts, and shorts should be knee length. We're starting to see a lot of the students coming in with shorts that do not come down to their knee length, and you will be getting phone calls to tell you that they need a change of clothes for that. They also may wear a grade level color sweater or a sweatshirt, as long as it is solid burgundy for 6th, solid black for 7th, and solid gray for 8th grade. They can also wear a long sleeve shirt underneath if they're cold, as long as there's nothing written on those things. Remember, students should not have jackets, hoodies, or purses, or headwear, scarves, or bandanas, no large hoop earrings, and no Crocs or slides at any time during the school day. So, parents, for your contact information, please ensure that Woodlawn Middle School has the most updated phone numbers and email addresses so we can reach you throughout the school day with good positive positive communications as well as when we need to reach out to you for other purposes. Information is communicated each week through our weekly call-outs, emails, and also on the school website. You are highly encouraged to fully listen to school messages so that you have the latest updates and information for your child. So we want you to take the time today and visit our PTSA table. You can talk with the PTSA so that they would be able to explain it to you what it is, but we would like your involvement in everything we do for the PTSA. We have board members that you can talk to. We have the president, Miss Megan West Butler, the Vice President, Maya Stewart, the Secretary, Miss Nichols, and the Treasurer is Miss Love.
Oh, wait. You can sign up there.
So you could join the PTSA by becoming a member. If you look, there's a QR code. You can follow them on X. You can email or you can donate through the BCPS website that they have provided. Please stop by in the front office so that on the front tables and join the PTSA for membership to continue to support our students.
Very quickly, I wanted to review some of the platforms that we use as our learning management system. Schoology is our learning management system to communicate with students and families. Parents, if you have not already done so, please download the app on your phone. Schoology will allow you to be able to see your child's grades, to communicate with the teachers, and so on and so forth. So please, if you want, you can use the Chrome browser to navigate to baltimore.focusschools.com and navigate that way, and or you can just download the app on your phone.
So there are required immunizations, and as of September 16th, we have 43 students who have not yet completed their required immunization for Baltimore County Public Schools and for any school in the state of Maryland. And so if your student has not completed their immunization, we need a copy of those immunization records by September 16th. If we do not have the copy of that immunization record, your student will be withdrawn from Baltimore County Public Schools, and we don't want that to happen. And so our Nurse G, is available this evening if anyone needs any information around immunization. But we have 3 6th graders currently. We have 36 7th grade students who have not submitted copies of their immunization record. And we have 5 8th graders. So those students will be withdrawn from Baltimore County Public Schools on September 16th if we do not have a copy of their immunization record. And at the top, you can see that students entering grade 7 are required to receive MCV4 and the Tdap vaccination in addition to the existing school immunization. So please make sure that that happens no later than September the 16th.
All right. So we would like for you to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram at WMS Eagles _. Hashtags that we are using right now are hashtag We Are Woodlawn and hashtag Team WMS. So for tonight, for your back to school night, you are going to have time to visit your students' classes. You will follow the A-day schedule and then the B-day schedule. Each class visit is 7 minutes with 3 minutes to transition, just like your child has 3 minutes to transition from one class to the next. So for each block, it is 7 minutes. Block 1 is at 6:10. Block 1A, period 2A is at 6:20. Period 3A is at 6:30. Period 4A begins at 6:40. Period 1B is at 6:50. Period 2B is at 7 p.m. Period 3B is at 7:10, and period 4B is at 7:20. Parents, if your child has math every day, if you would like to visit the resources on the second block for it, so if your child has math 1A and 1B, during that 1B time slot for those 10 minutes, it would be a great time to visit the resources in the front hallway, in the main lobby.
And so folks, we know this was a lot of information that we covered in not that much time, but we know that you want to be with your students' teachers. And so we're going to release you now for your 1A class. We're going to release you now for your 1A class, which also happens to be the same class as your homeroom. So you don't have to make any movement for this first period class, your period 1A. You'll remain in that room until 6:10. 6:17. Announcements will be made for every transition so that you can be reminded of when it is time to move. I think we did it, team.
We did it.
I think we did it, team. Have a great evening, everyone, and we will see you all in the hallways. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you.